And we're live. How's it going, everybody? You might notice that I am not Rick. Rick has, I think, his third anniversary of the year, so he he had to go out for dinner tonight. Kudos to him. I think it's 19 years. So good for him. I have Roger and Skylar.
Hi, everyone.
Howdy.
And we're ready to go.
Yeah, we just celebrated our 29th anniversary here a week ago.
Wow.
Nice.
See, I don't know. We never remember when our anniversary is. We usually go, hey, about a week later, hey, wasn't our anniversary last week?
I usually remember because my parents-in-law usually send a card way before.
Yeah, my mother sometimes phones.
Well, I keep it on my calendar so it pops up and I don't forget. Same with birthdays.
We got Chris here. Tony. Hey, some of the names are okay. Oh no, it's not okay. It's got an @ sign in front of it. I don't know if Tony's new. I don't recall. Is this your first time, Tony? No. Chris knows him. Tim's here. We're not early. It's right on time.
Yeah.
Tim's coming to my place on the weekend, I think. What else we got here? Oh, I guess we only had those couple guys saying hello to each other. Then me. Santa's here. It's always good when Santa's on a call. Santa says, when you take a day off, you can get here early. I don't ever get days off. ABT Marketing, who has said hello twice, once with an @ and once with the real name.
What's up with the @?
It's something like Yahoo. Facebook is, Jesus, YouTube is changing their system so that they're using @ symbols now. And they haven't moved everybody over. I moved over early, apparently. But
talking about YouTube, have you guys tried the new feature, the collaboration on YouTube?
Not yet.
No,
I want to.
I haven't.
I tried to, but I couldn't make it work.
It's a bit tricky. If you want to experiment, let me know, because I'd like to experiment too. So.
Yeah, I did a video collaboration with other YouTuber, and I did do the whole collaboration. I sent him the link, and it just didn't work. He didn't get anything. Like, he can't really accept the collaboration.
Huh.
And he's a smaller channel, so I was trying to help him out.
That's really what they're trying to push with it, right? They're really trying to push exposure to more channels. So
right.
It's a good intention. It's not about making money. Like, whoever sets up the collaboration is the one who makes any money off of it. But which seems weird to me. They should split it in half or something.
Right.
It's YouTube, though. There's not a ton of money to be made unless you're Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Mountain Biker 12. Greetings from New Mexico.
Well, I'll be in Old Mexico this time next week.
Original Mexico.
Yeah.
Kenneth Rowe. Evening, y'all. He must be from Texas.
They're somewhere down south.
Kevin 13 TN. TN for Tennessee, I assume. Says hello. Philip's back.
Monk's Corner, South Carolina.
You ever been?
Never been there.
I think I've only passed through South Carolina. I haven't been.
Yeah.
I've been to North Carolina numerous times.
Yeah, Liberty Park, Alabama. I haven't been there either.
I did a Grand Fondo bike race in South Carolina.
Like bike or motorcycle bike?
Like bike, like road bike.
Oh, like actual exercise.
Yes.
I think so too, Radu. Radu says Rick is prettier tonight. Hear that, Rick? Yeah, he's having his anniversary. If you're wondering where Rick is, Dave Sims from Hamilton, Ohio. Hey, Skylar's getting some recognition from Chris. It's actually good to have you back because we don't do any woodworking now. We don't. Well, Rick talks a little bit about CNCs, but
I'm waiting to see a project from him.
it's Rick.
Yeah. Everybody's waiting to see a project from him.
It's like all this talk about this CNC, the setup, the table, the this. But I'm like, where is the project? I just want to see one thing. Cut a circle.
Like 3 CNCs now. He's got the Onefinity, the Pone CNC, and two trees CNC.
Nice.
Let's answer this. No, Tim, Rick is having his anniversary tonight. I'm sure he's done this already once this year, but he's doing it again.
Hi, Radu.
Who else do we have? Good evening from Idaho.
Oh, good deal.
Smiley Woodworks. There's Jim back from. See, Jim's got his name there again. Now, Jim, are you on? Did you dial in through my channel or Roger's channel or Rick's channel? Because some of them, as you can see, some of them have @ signs in front of them. Somebody else saying hello to Skylar. All right, you guys got to stop saying hi to each other. We were all here 45 minutes ago. We could have joined, but you know, we were just talking offline.
Well, Chuck says he's new. Well, welcome.
New.
Hi, Chuck.
Where are you calling from, Chuck? Oh, there it is down there. He's from Alabama, North Alabama.
Ken from Southfield, Michigan. Fish Lake, Indiana.
Fish Lake is back again.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Tony.
I used to live in Cleveland, Ohio.
Really?
Yep, the first place when I came to America, I went to Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, since we have someone from Cleveland here, I won't make any comments. But I've
Dave
been to Cleveland.
Dave says hello from Kalamazoo, and that would be in Michigan.
Nice.
Gregory.
Congratulations on the new laser.
Glad to see Skylar, he says. His F2 will be here tomorrow. Yeah, the F2 is a nice little laser. Do you like it though, right, Skylar?
I do. I kept the F1, the original one. When I reviewed the F1 and the F1 Ultra, and then I was like, I don't need both of them, so I had to sell one of them because it was taking too much space. And I kept the F1, not the Ultra. And everybody was like, you're crazy. The Ultra is such a much better laser and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but it's not the perfect laser for me. The F1 was better for me. And I especially like that the plate gets removed so I can just plop it on top of something.
Yeah. So just the portability really is the benefit, right?
Yep. And that's what I use to mark my brand on everything I make. So it's really easy just to have it pre-focused to that bottom plate, like removed it and just put it on everything I need. And
yeah, I do that too. Yeah, I think the F2 is going to be popular. Anyone who does craft markets or anything.
And the camera, it's fantastic. The accuracy of that thing, really accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, Harry Moon, first time.
Cool.
Burke Burnett, Texas. If I said that right. Burke Burnett.
Burke Burnett, Texas.
Welcome.
I've been to Texas many times. I used to have a team there.
Yeah, Jake from West Alabama. Muskegon, Michigan. Well, we're all over the map here tonight. Good deal.
Well, that's cool.
Northwest Tennessee.
Welcome, Bruce.
No questions, just a lot of hellos.
Yeah. There'll be questions. Yeah, we got a lot of people on the call actually tonight. Southern
California.
Welcome, Joe.
Okay, There's more to this shirt the way you can see right now. Right up here it says retired. I'm going to stand up here so you can see the rest of it.
Andrew is commenting on Roger's shirt, so
Yep.
now we need him to model it. Wow, that's
here,
busy.
It says retired but not expired.
Well, that's a good
Sounds
thing.
like a good coaster slogan.
Yeah. Hello from South Milwaukee. That's David.
Dave's here again.
South Carolina from Kenneth.
Yeah.
It's Steve Kickert, Minnesota.
No, Sky is what? We'd have to go back and find the message.
Oh, Kent in the UK. Across the pond.
Welcome, Kelvin.
Hello from Georgia. Susan.
Oh, so many people tonight.
Oh.
Dennis says, I guess, he's talking about Skylar. Everybody's going to talk about Skylar tonight. I guess she's the only one in the live cast that can see this. No, everybody can see them. So we generally read the answers because we're live on 4 different YouTube channels tonight and a couple of Facebook channels. So, and a lot of people don't pay attention to the video. So they're listening. There are people on the call tonight who listen just on a speaker. So
I do that a lot when you guys have your live. Just play it, and I listen to it while I'm doing something in the shop.
Oh, and you think how happy you are that you're doing something in the shop instead of being on a call with us?
No, I missed you guys.
Well, you can come anytime.
Well, from Baldwin, Michigan.
Welcome, Ted. This is ABM marketing. ABM, yes, ABM marketing. It's like 3 hours away from Monk's Corner. That was South Carolina.
Yeah, must know where it is, huh? But never been
there. So there you go.
Phil from Georgia.
Saying hi.
South Carolina.
Welcome, William. Rick's first circles are probably going to have corners. Yeah, this is in reference to Rick's CNC, I'm sure. It just seems to be taking. He's apparently working on like a 27-part series, but we really need to see some work from him because everyone. I don't know, Skylar, how much you pay attention, but everybody's convinced that he's just on a green screen, and there's none of that stuff actually exists behind him.
I've been putting off ordering a CNC. I'm like, I'm going to wait to see how Rick does, if he can figure it out, what kind of project he does. I'm like waiting and waiting. I'm like, come on, just do something. I just want to see if it works. Make a circle, do a tray, do whatever.
Yeah, we cross our fingers every week that he's going to show us.
My channel is showing names still. So
maybe the old guys, they haven't changed over yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in my chat has the ad. So YouTube has decided to upgrade me to something less useful. But
you must be very special.
No, I am not special. Just ask my wife. The reason they did it is because there's only one person with that username, whereas anybody can have the same name, right? There could be, we have Philip here. There could be a million Philips on YouTube, and they don't really know who you're talking to. So whatever, as long as people come out and say hi, that's the important thing.
Well, the best marketing says he's signed into all 3 of our channels as well. So great.
I noticed the first time there were 3 messages there. So Rick's apparently hasn't been updated either yet, or Skylar's. I guess we don't have Rick's on tonight. Jim says, when did the notification? Oh, when I did the notification, it was on Rick's channel. Yeah, so Rick probably hasn't been converted yet. Chuck came in from Skylar's channel. Hey, John. Let us know. Oh, he let us know where he's calling from. Chris says, does my first day here as a 72-year-old count as new? Everyone's new. Yeah.
No, nothing wrong with being 72. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm real close.
Hey, I'm getting there. Oops. So John's coming from Ontario. I used to live in Ontario, and then I realized it was too damn cold in the winter and too hot in the summer, so I headed to the coast. Kevin says, my Reno 65 is at the house. Reno?
Is that a mom port?
Yeah, I think
Genmitsu.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Genmitsu, Reno.
Is at the house, but I won't be home until Friday. Hopefully it's not sitting on your doorstep.
Hello from Eastern Oregon. Plinky, 1987. I like that name.
Plinky. Happy birthday, Chris. Well, it's Chris's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, now we're going to get a whole bunch of happy birthdays to Chris. Gandalf. Now now we're going deep.
Yeah.
Gandalf says, good evening. I'm neither late nor early. I arrived precisely when I meant to.
That's the attitude to have.
He's clearly a Lord of the Rings nerd.
Wiley, Texas. From the Emperor.
Emperor Palpatine. Wow, we got all the stars out tonight. Ted must be Skylar. Everybody, did you put you put the stream up on your channel? I assume, Skylar.
I did about 2 hours ago, or 1 hour and a half ago.
So all the famous people are coming from your channel.
Ted, if you can't find the paper, just send me an email and I will send you a copy.
I'll read his response, or do you want to read it since it's yours?
It says Skylar. Like the video making the box with the flowers. Once I find the paper on cutting the flowers, I plan on making it for each one of my granddaughters.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, if you don't find it, just send me an email and I'll send it to you.
Kevin likes Roger's shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
As we all do. Yeah, you're getting lots of accolades here.
Well, thanks, Anna.
Feel free to ask some questions if you have some questions. Charles from Southern Illinois, he asked a question: do you think the F2 may be later may later be Lightburn compatible? No, I think I had a conversation with the Lightburn guys probably 6 months ago. And it started with, do you still use Lightburn with your X-Tool lasers? And I'm sure they asked that same question to many people. My answer was no. And the last few lasers they've had no longer support Lightburn, which doesn't seem to be an issue. X-Tool Studio, actually, I've kind of grown onto it. I like it a lot, actually. What I like is you can use really different lasers without having to change tools.
Yep.
Or thinking, because they all work the same way, which is super nice. Soldier Farms says hello. Let us know where you're coming from.
Ordinary woodworker, Portland, Oregon.
He's back. He or she, not to make any.
Yeah, I made that mistake more than once. So
yeah, we've all done that.
Yeah.
Instead of a letter up in the corner, they need you like your mugshot.
Well, I'll take this. The writer's asking, I'll sprinkle in some printer questions tonight. First being newer than new, what type of build plate for which filaments? I use a PEI plate almost exclusively. I don't use anything else anymore.
Actually, if you're using a bamboo printer, the build plate has the materials written on the front of it anyway, which materials it supports. But you use a textured build plate, I assume, not a smooth one.
I have both. Most of the time I use textured because you get better adhesion, but I do have a smooth one. I need something with a smooth surface.
Yeah, I like the look of the textured one better anyway.
Roger, I have a question for you. I want to get my husband a printer, 3D printer.
He's not
And what is
listening tonight, is he?
no, he never listens to any of my videos. He
Oh,
doesn't
that's
watch
good.
any of my videos. But I want to get him for Christmas a printer, but I need something that it's easy to use and really good quality. What would that be?
Well, the X1 Carbon, the P2S, which is out now. I don't have a P2S, but
What's
the
the
X1
budget?
Carbon
Who
is
makes it?
Bamboo Labs.
Bamboo.
Bamboo P2S?
Yeah, BAMBU Labs.
Yeah. I
There you go.
have
I wrote it on my workbench. Now I have
I
it.
have an H2D. It's more on the high end. They now have the H2C.
And I will be having one of those when I get back from vacation.
Nice.
You're buying one?
Yes, I am, because that tool change thing on that is just neat.
It
I
just
gotta
looks
have that.
so complicated. It's like
He keeps asking me to make him these little tiny parts for, I don't even know what he does. But it's like, can you make me one bracket that is like this and like that? And then like with a hole here, I'm like, I don't know, man, just go 3D print one. It's like, I don't know about 3D printers. I'm like, okay.
yeah. Rick ordered a H2D Pro, which to me looks like the only thing it has is the plate with all the little codes on it, the calibration plate. I forget what they call it. I tried to convince them to send me one of those, and they went, "Well, you know, they're $100 and whatever dollars." It's like, okay, fine. I'll just deal with, a millimeter or less than a millimeter of imprecision.
I think I had Anchor a long time ago. They wanted me to review one of their 3D printers. And I was like, I don't know anything about that. And I'm not computer savvy, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go buy one.
Yeah. Well, I would second Roger's note about bamboo printers. Okay. I wouldn't buy another 3D printer.
Bamboo P2S. That's what I'm going to get.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice. Well, it depends how much. Like the only real difference between the P2S really and something like the H2S, is that what it is? H2S.
Yeah, H2S
is the bed size is a bit bigger on the H series.
I think he only needs to make like some small brackets for like his solar panels or something. I don't know what he was asking.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Before long, you want to print a bread box or something, and then you just don't have enough space.
We'd be making cosplay helmets.
Yeah. I had to make just a little gate to keep our dogs from going in the laundry room because they get in trouble when they're in there. And I was thinking, like, how am I going to make this? Turns out multi-board is an excellent thing for making these gates, because you can bolt as much of it together as you need, and it worked fantastic. And they can see through it. So when my wife is in there washing their dishes, getting ready to feed them, they can look longingly in there.
Missed a question there about what's something about a CNC.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll let you answer that one.
Well, I have a Onefinity CNC, Onefinity Elite, which I love. Rick now has one of those. He's also got the one he has from PWN CNC. They aren't shipping yet, I don't think.
PWN, they emailed me. They wanted me to send them my analytics and stuff for a collaboration, but then I never did it.
Yeah, that seems to be the new thing. I get 3 or 4 of those requests a week now. It's like, yeah, they're my analytics, not yours.
Yep. No, so I ended that right there.
Yeah. Also check out Shapeoko.
What do you know about Shark, a U.S. company?
They make more high-end. I think they're going out of business, aren't they? Was it Shark? They have high-end CNCs. And I was at a local trade show, and there was a guy selling some of those. I think it was those. It was the company that's going out of business now, anyway.
Yeah, they sell them at my local Rockler.
Yeah, they sell them there. They're popular in those kind of stores, but they tend to be high end. But I was talking to this guy, and he's trying to sell me this CNC with like a I don't know, it was probably 16 inches by 24-inch workspace, and this thing was like $10,000. And I said, I already have a CNC. And he went, oh, what do you have? I said, a Onefinity. And he went, I guess if you like entry-level CNCs. It's like, it can do everything this CNC can do for a fraction of the price, and I can make it bigger.
I had Carvera reached out to me. They wanted to send me their tiny CNC, the desktop
The X1?
one.
Yeah.
No, the Air one, the beginner one.
Oh, the Air. Yeah. So I like that. It's a. What I like about it is it's all enclosed, so you don't get dirt and dust everywhere, and it's when it's closed, it's pretty quiet actually. This is the.
I thought that would be perfect for my jewelry boxes to just do some inlays and whatever.
Yeah,
but then I
do some little engraving on them.
But then I just didn't reply to them back because I was like, I don't know if I should do it because I don't know anything about CNCs. So it's like I don't want to take this.
That's the whole point of these, though, right? They're really entry-level CNCs.
I'm just worried that this thing is going to show up and I know nothing about it, and they're going to, bug me 3 weeks later. Where's the video? I'm like, I can't even put it together yet.
They didn't seem to be like that. But the one thing that they give you a big pile of materials and a book of examples. And it's literally do this, do this, do this, do this.
I've seen the same 3D carving on every review I've seen. It's the same one that comes the file with.
So I didn't want to. I did a couple of those, but I didn't want to do all of those because everyone else did them. So I did a couple. I actually used VCarve to do my my generation. And it just, there's a post processor. They give you a post processor for it for VCarve, so it just works. Like, it was pretty nice. So I don't know. It's I mean, it's, I've had my say about 3018s. It's actually a little bigger than a 3018, but this thing, it's built like a tank. Like, everything in there is metal. It's clearly built like a professional machine, but it's for beginners.
Right.
South Georgia, Jeans, Woodworks, and Laser. Chuck says, oh, this is another Skylar question, so you can read this one.
Yes, the cross, I did design it. However, I did have a little inspiration from someone on my Facebook group. They posted a picture of a cross that looked similar, not the same, was completely different. But they asked, how do I go about making this? So then I put my own spin on it and made a new design.
Is that like the weaved cross? That one was actually pretty nice.
It did pretty good. It got like almost 300,000 views in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it looks great.
Hello from coastal Mississippi.
The original cross did not have the weave part. It was just like put together butt joints.
Yeah. But it's all one piece, right? It's not.
No, it's all tiny pieces.
Oh. See, if you had a CNC, you could make that. You can make that one piece.
I thought about that when I designed it, and I was cutting all those pieces and shaping them.
Soldier Farm says, I like to turn on some live while I clean the shop. Well, if you would like, my shop needs cleaning too. Big time.
I mean, I've been actually pretty good lately cleaning mine. It's got, I mean, there's, so that little bit of filament that gets injected right on the front of the workspace on a bamboo printer. There's a little blob and a stick. My floor in front of my printer is full of those things.
Yeah, they invariably end up on the floor. Even when you just try to grab them, they flip right out of your hand. And
yeah, I just don't even try anymore. I just sweep them off. The vacuum will take care of them in a week or so.
William Wright says he's in Manning, South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina is represented. Dave says, Steve, your videos have helped me a lot in my laser engraving journey. Well, that's good, because that's why I do it. Every once in a while, I'll have these reflections of, when I worked, I always had, every once in a while, I had a boss who was a bit anal retentive, and he'd come in every now and again and he'd say, oh, you did a terrible job on this. and it's like, the thing I like about most of the crowd who watch my channel they're thankful and they give opinions. So I mean, I get some snippy ones once in a while, but sometimes it's warranted. But it's like it makes you feel like you're doing something useful, right? So, which is not something I had in the last couple of years of my full-time job. So, another one for you, Skylar.
Kyler, I've seen your Pega scroll saw. Do you recommend any beginner one just starting with the scroll saw designs? I do not recommend Pegas. Do not get it. It's supposed to be one of the higher end one. That's why I bought it. I figured, buy one, cry once. And I had problems with it after about 6 weeks after I got it. And I bought it from Woodcrafts. And I called them, and it was supposed to be under warranty, and nobody would, return my calls, and I just couldn't get it fixed. Like, even though it was under warranty, so it's just a lemon. But it kind of works, and I do not recommend it. But I do know that Bayer, who's the cheap company that sells tools, the Rick got the dust collector from.
Oh yeah. It's just some brand name.
Bauer?
Bauer? They make they make the same product under 15 different names. Like in Canada, it's Craftex is usually one of them. There's a couple others, and you look at them and it's like it's all the same.
Yeah, my scroll saw is a DeWalt, and I've had
DeWalt,
it for
those
years.
have been around for a long time. People love them.
Yeah,
this one, I think it's called
stable.
Bauer. It's like $300, and it's supposed to be really good. People love it. I know some people bought it on my Facebook group, and they really recommend it, and they think it's great. But if I would buy a new one, I would probably go with the Seiko.
See, if Scott happened to be on the east coast of Canada, the one I would recommend is the one under my bench. I'd like to get rid of it. I got it years ago, and I used it a few times for some things, and it's just like once you get a CNC, you don't think about scroll saws anymore. It's just how it is. But I think I'm just lazy. But it's much easier to put a piece of wood on and push the start button and watch it. Another one for you, Skylar. Wow.
Skylar, please fill us on what you've been working on lately. Lately, I've been working a lot of crosses. Last year, around Christmas time, I sold so many crosses that I just couldn't keep up with it. Like, as soon as I was posting something, it will sell out. So this year, I made a whole bunch of them, and I'm still making them. And they're selling not as good as last year, but they're selling pretty quick. And that's what I'm making. I'm kind of getting tired of making them. I want to make something else. But this is what is
Valentine's Day is coming. Now, if you were subscribed to our Shop Talk Live Facebook page, you would know what Skylar's working on because she pushes things out there all the time.
I know you guys have to post some more stuff in there. I always go there. I'm like, come on, nobody else. The last post is still mine.
I am the worst social media person ever. So I and I can't be apologetic for that. It's just I have submitted to my suckage of posting things on anything related to social media.
Well, I'm not real good at it too. I mean, even I actually intended to make a video on how to make these, and then I never did. Because I had an order for a whole bunch of them, so I've just been cranking them out, and I still haven't made a video on them. And so, yeah.
Yeah, X2 asked me if I wanted to make a video for making Christmas decorations on an F2.
Yeah, they asked me that too. They asked me to do Christmas decorations. They asked me to do maybe in a setting of a craft show. I'm like, no, I'm just going to do the video I want to do. And if you're happy, you're happy. If not,
I told them I would consider it. But realistically, by the time I get to it, Christmas is going to be over. So maybe I'll make Valentine's Day things. I don't know.
I had last year, I wanted to do, that engraving on an ornament and then you fill it in with paint.
Yeah.
So last year, I really wanted to try that. And I had one of my subscribers, because I didn't have a 3D printer, so I had to make me a stand so it goes into my F1 and, you can do repeatable work. So I had somebody print me this stand and they sent it to me, and I have not even got to try it yet. That was last year.
The thing where you put like the Christmas ball in the
Yes,
stand
and it
then
has that little
yeah.
neck for the But that person was so nice, just did it for me for free, sent it to me, and I have not even tried it yet. So Christopher, I apologize. I will try it.
The one thing that is nice about well, X-Tool in general, but the F2 and all the later generation of lasers they've made, they have like contoured focus, right? So you don't really need a rotary for a lot of things. Yeah. So it's one of those things I should actually be paying more attention to.
They sent me their rotary tool long time ago. I don't even know with which laser. It's still in the box. I never put it together.
Yeah, I have an RA2 Pro, but it's in the box too. I should get them to send me an RA3 because the RA3 has some nice features on it that are make it a little better even than an RA2. But it's one of those things. Yeah. No time. Where are we here? Soldiers from Springfield, Ohio. Nobody has tried to eat my dog. Yikes. That sounds like the kind of thing you should put on a t-shirt.
Oh, that's what here is aimed at Rick. 27-part series, 25 on assembly, 1 project, and first of 35 fixing errors.
Yeah. Rick's going to be hurting tonight. Jim says he's wanting to say thank. Oh, well, there you go. He wants to say thank you to you, Roger, for taking for talking a number of months ago about his engraving his coasters with the stolen from. He sent me a message too about this to remind him to thank Roger for this.
Yeah, you sold over 2,500 the past 2 months. Great deal.
Yeah, Jim is moving along, man. His business is going crazy. He had some problems with wine glasses or martini glasses, but I think he got it resolved. Engraving them, they were breaking. Which it's like whoa. Chris says YouTube. Oh, this is the @name thing. They're doing it mainly to make it suitable for mobile devices. Yeah. Which is ironic, given that the mobile consumption of YouTube is starting to drop now.
I was just looking at my analytics today, and about 60% of people are watching on TV these days.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Now, I think it depends on the channel, right? Like the kind of stuff we do, the bigger screen, the better, right? But the kinds of things that end up in places like TikTok, like in shorts on YouTube, I get it. I can't do the whole TikTok thing.
Chris says it does a lap of liking all the channels. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Right. EBM says, if your wife or husband didn't think you were special, they would have never married you, correct? Yeah, right. They might have married you and then the very next day went, oh, what did I do? William says, I just purchased my first CO2. Woohoo! A Monport Reno 65. What are your thoughts on I think on the Reno 65, but Monport in general, I guess.
I have a Monport K40, which is fine for what I do. Never had a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't
really.
Do you have any Monport stuff, Scott?
Nope.
No, I don't either. I've been down the negotiation path for videos with them a couple of times, and
they emailed me a few times, and I didn't get anywhere. They wanted too much from me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm going through that with somebody right now on 3D printers, and it's like, yeah, you can't have my firstborn. Well, maybe you can, but yeah, sometimes it's just too much effort.
Yep.
Oh, and stayed with you. ABM says they married you and stayed with you. See, Well, my second wife is still with me, although it's day to day, I think. David says, Steve, you reviewed the Commarker Omni XUV12 and the X2L UV5. Which one is one better than the other? I don't really want to get two companies that are friends of my channel into any kind of competitive mode. And it sounds cheesy to say I like them both, but I actually do. Like the 12-watt Omni one is in my shop. It's going to stay in my shop, and so is the X2L 5-watt. Here's what I like. I like the X-Tool, any X-Tool laser, just for ease of use. With X-Tool Studio, it's just so much easier to do anything with a laser. But on the Omni X, especially the 12-watt, you can engrave a lot faster and just it's like with authority, basically. So
and time is money.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like neither one of these lasers, I would say, is just like a hobby laser. They're both really, you're kind of looking at like a serious side hustle or an actual business. And both of these would work in a business for sure. Here we go. Charles asks, what do you think the F2 maybe? Oh,
Lightburn compatible.
Didn't we answer this already? Did Charles ask this question?
It was
I would say X-Tool is done with Lightburn. They haven't said anything specific to me, but certainly the F-Tool, the F2 family doesn't support it. The last couple lasers in the F1 family didn't support it.
But that's okay. X-Tool has actually a decent software.
Yeah, I mean, I still have Lightburn. I use it for some lasers.
I do too. When I first got X-Tool machines, I was like, oh man, I really miss Lightburn. I wish they worked really well with Lightburn. And then eventually I kind of transitioned. I'm like, very rarely I go back in Lightburn. I mean, if I need to design something, I'll go in Inkscape.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of Galvo lasers that use Lightburn. I don't have any active diode lasers in my shop right now, although I'll probably have some in a couple of weeks. But Galvo lasers tend to use Lightburn. And my own CO2 that I built uses Lightburn. But I use mostly I was actually looking at my big CO2 the other day and thinking, do I really need this big footprint on the floor of my shop anymore? Because almost everything I do with a CO2, I do with the P2S now.
Yep. I was kind of in the same situation. I was selling so many acrylic templates that I had my P2S from X-Tool. And it was like, was just too much workload for it. I mean, that thing was going for 6 hours a day nonstop. And it started to like melt the little mesh thing in the inside that goes to the fan.
Yeah.
Because it was just overheating after so much use every day. And
that screen in the back, you have to keep that thing really clean. There's 2 of them there, but
right. So I eventually ended up buying like 20 of them replacements. But I was looking to get another CO2. I'm like, just for cutting the templates that I sell, I should get another CO2. I was like, where do I put it? Then I was like, you know what? I'm not selling any more templates. I completely removed them out of my Etsy and my website. I'm like, I'm giving up that part of the business because I spend a few hours just cutting templates. I'm like, I have no time to make anything.
Yeah, there are things every once in a while someone will like. I list a few things on my website, but they're mostly just to show people that I do stuff, right? And every once in a while someone will buy one of those and it's like, yeah. It's like, well, why do I sell this?
I have a lot of projects on my YouTube that requires the template, and then I was like, well, if you want to make this, you can purchase the templates. But it's like all I do now, I felt like I was just cutting templates all day and then packing them and shipping them. I was like, I didn't do any woodworking in the shop because all I did is cut templates and ship them. I feel like I work in a little factory. So I had to give it up.
Yeah, well, at some point you got to make money too, right? But It's always better to make money on things you enjoy.
Yep.
Frank's little I was going to say little workshop of horrors, but it's just a little workshop. Hi all from Essex, UK. Another UK representation. Recently watched your latest cross build, Skylar, and love it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Crosses seem to be a big business these days. Everyone's looking for salvation.
It is. I think everything religion and patriotic seems to sell really good.
So I've got a question for you, Skylar. Do you
Yep.
ever make cremation urns?
You know what? I was approached by a few people to make cremation urns. One of them was this followers of mine, and he was really nice. He wanted to make a box for him and his wife. He's still fairly young and in good health, but he's a boat builder, so he knows a lot about woodworking. And his request was like over the top. He wanted this like thing with the boat sticking out, with the plaque, with the grandchildren's faces on every face, with gold embedded writing. And I was like, what? I'm like, this thing is gonna take like 5 years to make and back and forth. He's gonna be dead. I can't even get my money after all. So I said, no, I cannot do it. But then I had a few other people requesting for pets urns. So I think I'm going to do it. I looked into it and it seemed like it's a good business. And I sell like, I make boxes. Boxes sells for $100 to $250. But like an urn, you can sell it for $300 to $500. And it's a lot more simpler if you look at them. The design is so dead simple. There's no hinges. It's just glued at the top. The bottom is screwed on. And it's always like a very, very simple project. And I think I'm going to do it. So I even looked into the human urns. And you have to get that box that is TSA pre-approved, just in case they die overseas and somebody has to bring them back in. Yeah. So I bought 2 of those boxes. So I have them. They're sitting in my office. So now I just have to do the wooden box part.
What makes it TSA approved?
Well, if somebody dies overseas and they have to bring it in, bring the ashes, I guess, they can't just bring them in a Ziploc bag. They have to be in an enclosed plastic container. And there are companies that are making this TSA pre-approved boxes that you can bring remains in. So then you want to make sure that that box fits in the wooden box that you're building.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be a box within a box.
Yeah, it's not that you're making that box, but the box.
You buy the plastic thing that is TSA pre-approved, but then you have to make sure that it fits into the box you're making.
Yeah, I've been asked for pet stuff, but it's a time thing. I just generally, they're easy to make. But
I know. I spent like a week just looking at all kinds of urns. I'm like, hey, those are so easy. They're like the most simple projects ever. I'm like, I can totally do that.
But a buddy of mine makes urns for people, and does quite well with them. I think he's mostly retired now, but.
It's definitely a business there, and it's pretty easy project to do. And they're usually very simple. There is nothing too complicated.
Huh. Speak of the devil, he actually just sent me a message. So Bamboo has a new metal filament that's 90% steel and 10% plastic.
That ought to be interesting.
It's got so much metal in it that it's cold to the touch, and it weighs a lot.
You can make a new hammer.
Yeah, I don't need one. I can actually. I gave my hammer away to somebody. I forget who took it. Somebody was in my shop and went, "Oh, that's cool." And, okay, take it, because it's just gonna end up in the trash bin or something if it stays here. Springfield. Now you can't just say Springfield in the U.S., right? Because every state has a Springfield.
Yeah, you got to kind of be a little more specific there.
I guess this was there was was it Springfield, Ohio? There was somebody earlier said they were from Springfield.
There's Springfield, Missouri. There's obviously Springfield, Illinois.
Any tips for cutting half-inch dowel lengths precisely?
I use my bandsaw.
I just put a stop block on my miter saw and cut it. But
Yeah, I think I would cut it on the table saw probably, and just
Yeah,
make like a 45-degree V group jig kind of to hold it.
yeah, I was gonna say that the problem with a table saw is if you tried to hold that on a table, it's
Right, it
just
spins, shoots it
you'll
back.
have a projectile. Yeah, but if you put it in just a little like a upside down sawhorse,
Right.
it would be fine. See, we bring people together. Look, it's
Yeah. Well, Santa's laser engraving, it says to John R. 8922. I lived in Rutherford County until 4 years ago. First time I've seen Bostic on here. And Dave says, hello, Soldier Farms neighbor.
oh, Chris is responding to Charles. There was a question, I guess. Tight tech.
Oh, it's Lightburn being compatible
yeah.
with X-Tool.
They're tight with tech info. Lightburn and Xtool are getting pretty much equal. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wonder what's going to happen to Lightburn in the long run.
It seems like most companies are developing their own software.
Well, out of necessity, right? Because like Lightburn was originally built for those open frame metal laser, open frame 5-watt and 10-watt lasers, where everything was basically the same. And I know Xtool, one of the reasons they built their own was because they needed stuff like, focus over curves and all the things that they were adding to lasers
and the batch engraving and all that stuff.
Yeah, Lightburn just wasn't going to support that, right? And I get it. I see both sides there, but yeah, it's like, I mean, who doesn't have their own software now? Like Xtool does, Longer does, We Create does. Like who else? I mean, Algo Laser does. Like everybody's going that way, and when you have something free, you're not going to pay money.
My biggest issue with Lightburn was always trying to connect a new laser. I would cringe when I would get a new laser. I was like, is it going to connect? Is it not going to connect? I had lasers that took me like 4 days to connect it. Kept trying and trying and trying.
Find My laser didn't always work very well.
Yep, I think it was like the Creality laser. The first one they ever sent it to me, I don't even remember which one it was. I had it for like a week. I'm like, I cannot connect it. And I'm like, I'm sending it back. This thing doesn't work. And then one day I went to the shop, turned it on again, and just connect from the first time. I'm like, a week I tried to connect it. And then once it connects, it stays on for like forever.
You just have to connect them manually. It's just.
I've tried. I couldn't do that either. Like it was just not working.
I found a little trick because I've been through that same thing. Is down there where it tells you what COM port you're connected to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before you go to Find My Laser, click that to like automatic or whatever that other setting is, and take it off the COM port, and Find My Laser will find it.
Yeah,
I remember I even sold those lasers, and I told the people that bought it, I'm like, just so you know, if you're using a Mac, might have a hard time to connect. You might have to try for a few hours. And they will message me, be like, I can't connect this thing. I can't connect it. I'm like, turn it off, turn it on, open again, Lightburn.
Yeah,
and eventually it's like, yes, it worked.
Turn the laser on before you run Lightburn. Turn the laser on after you run Lightburn.
And then once it connects, it just works forever. It just finds it. But
yeah, it's a bit tricky. Now, in fairness, I don't think it's Lightburn's fault per se. USB ports get confused every now and again, and they're basically the laser's connected, but it's not telling anyone that it's there. So it's but it's a pain. And I've never seen that on like Xtool's like Xtool Studio. I've never seen that happen.
No, they just work.
Back up the question there.
Oh.
Yeah, so Plinky 1987 asked, use any specific programs to track your time on projects? or just old-fashioned pen and paper. I don't use any programs to do it. Like I said, we build candy boards. That's one of our big things. Do about 1,000 of them a year, and I've got it down to a science. I know exactly how long it takes. But when I was first doing it, I was running everything in batches and writing down how long it took to run that batch, and then eventually putting together what my shop time was, and assembly time, and painting time, and how many beers I had to drink while I was watching the paint dry.
That's the best part of the project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll put stuff in the spreadsheet. I'll use Notes, the Note application on the Mac a lot for this kind of stuff. I don't know. What do you do, Skylar?
I actually don't keep notes, especially the first time I do the projects. I never look at the time because it will always take me a lot longer than it should.
Yeah.
And after I go over all the problems and how I can make it more efficient. But then if I do something that I'm making 5 things of the same thing and I make it, I just kind of, if I can get it done in a day and I get 5 of them, then I kind of know what my price should be for that.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to write it down.
Yeah.
And I know how miserable it is. Some things I can do really quick, but if it's a lot of hand sanding and a lot of just tedious work, I'm like, that is not fun. Well, I'll charge more for that than something that maybe takes me longer time, but it's all kind of fun and, easy.
Yeah. For me, it's generally easier because I do mostly custom stuff. I don't do a lot of more than one of anything. So if I'm working on something, that's what I'm working on today, right? It's not like I'm trying to do 2 things at once usually.
Yeah, I usually have at least 15 projects started everywhere.
Yeah, I always have enough distractions that I can only usually keep one going at a time. So I've had a plaque sitting on my workbench since September, actually August. I've got the name on the top of it, but all of it's like a trophy kind of plaque, and there's nothing else. So it's one of those things I have to really get done. It's been there for a while. They don't need it until next July, so
I do a lot of epoxy crosses, and when I pour them big batches because I don't want to mix epoxy just for one.
Yeah.
So then when I do, I pour 7 of them, and then I don't, the next day I'll pour another 7, and then another 7, and I end up with 30 crosses. But then I'm like, I don't want to flatten them. I hate sanding them. So then they just sit there, and eventually I'm like, okay, I have an hour while the glue dries on this thing. I'm just gonna sand the cross.
You have a drum sander, don't you?
I do, but I still don't like to do it.
It's easy with a drum sander.
Yeah, it clogs my dust collector. I went through so many dust collectors because the
resin. Yeah, the resin dust is kind of sticky.
Yeah, that's why I ended up with this guy just for the drum sander. This big dust collector. The only thing it does is drum sander because it has the bag, not the filter. Because I had some with the filters before, and the filters get all clogged. But this one I can just buy and replace the bag. So it's $50, replace the bag.
Well, it works, right?
That's a lot cheaper than a filter.
Yep, the filters are heavy and expensive, and
yeah.
Derek says lasers keep improving so much. Quality, price, capabilities. Do you think the laser market will become overly saturated, or do you think we will continue to see continued leaps in technology? Now, I did a video on this not that long ago, specifically around the diode laser market, because I think that market is saturated now. And other than things like alien cell, there's not a lot of innovation going on in diode lasers right now.
And you're seeing a lot of consolidation. Go ahead.
It also depends on what you're making with your laser. If you're just thinking engraving, then, but you can do so much more with the laser.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're just getting started, you're probably going to make, basic wooden keychains or coasters, God forbid. Everybody does it right to start, but then at some point you're going to want to do something more serious but to get started, really any laser that has a spot that can cut and engrave is going to work.
Derek, the one that asked the question, he actually has a mount port laser. He's the one that had the mount port that has not been working after 3 weeks after he got it, and I still don't think it's working. He had it for over a year.
It's a CO2, right?
A CO2, yeah.
Well, it could be alignment. Like, is there light coming out of the end of the tube?
Yeah, he can engrave, I think, but cannot cut, or can cut and not engrave, or something weird is happening with it. It does all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
And
What I've
Montport
seen-
had him went with him and remove all the limit switches and try to do all kinds of stuff, and then just kind of
Yeah,
die
that
there.
doesn't sound like the right thing to do if you can engrave but not cut. What I have seen with CO2 lasers is if the mirror 2, so the one that turns it up across the gantry, if that mirror is too far back or too far forward, the beam doesn't go through the lens properly, and you can end up with a cut that's at an angle, or it looks like a really bad cut, basically. So I spent quite a bit of time building jigs and things to get that specific mirror lined up. And you have, the last hole before it hits the prism to go straight down onto the work before it hits the lens. That hole, I have the beam going right through the center of that.
Yep.
If it's
That's
off
what
center,
X-Tool makes it so easy, right? With their
that's the thing, right? Like
light.
I cringe every time I have to go do an alignment on my big laser because it's like old school. But first of all, you don't have to do an alignment on an X-Tool CO2 very often. I think I've done one in a year and a half.
I've only done it once when I got my laser, and then I checked it again just about last week, and it was still perfect. So I was like, woo.
Yeah, it's just so much easier.
Yeah, I've never done an alignment the old school because I've never had the CO2 before this one. I remember when I got my X-Tool, I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, these mirrors and lining them. It was like,
yeah, it's a bit intimidating. But they've hidden, so in the P2, they've hidden all of that stuff, right? Like you actually have to try to get to the adjusters for the mirrors on a P2 or P2S. But did you like the alignment on the F2?
Yes.
It's
just
like
stick a screw to the thing and move it around until it lines up.
That's only to line up the red dot with the actual beam, but the alignment is just so easy. I mean, it draws a circle or something and a crosshair.
Oh, right.
And it puts the blue laser in one and the UV or IR laser in the other, and says, how just move these things where they belong, and I'll go figure out the rest. And it's
I've done that,
crazy.
and it was all working out. But then my two lights were not on top of each other, so then I had to take the screwdriver and put the lights over. But there was no difference. I mean, my engraving was perfect before, was it perfect after? So I don't know what that did. But
that only moves the sighting laser, so that like if you're in focus and those beams are overlapped, those two, the red and your F2 laser beam, if they're lined up on top of each other, then you really don't, like, you can manually focus really quickly, right? You don't need to do autofocus because when those two things are overlapped, you're in focus.
The autofocus is so sweet on that laser, though. Like, the CO2 laser, you actually have to take the little square and put it over your material to measure. Where this one, it just does it automatically somehow.
Yeah, well, they got two cameras, right? So they can do stereoscopic imaging. Actually, I think they have LiDAR in them.
Well, Dave's asking, has any of you three been asked to test a Handsmaker D1 Ultra? I have not.
I've been asked a couple of times. But I haven't done one. I haven't seen one. It looks a lot like an F2, an F1, a longer Nano Pro, a Laser Pecker. Like, they're all very similar. And this is the reason. So I don't like doing reviews on things that don't have any real innovation in them. If it's just another laser of the same kind as everybody else, I don't generally bother. But
That's why I decided to only do like 3 or 4 laser reviews per year now.
yeah, I keep saying I'm trying to reduce it, but as you know, manufacturers can be very persistent. If you don't test this, we're going to come to your house.
Well, Tony says he's a maker who asked me about the round to it. And no, I still don't have one on my desk here. I keep trying to remember to bring one down out of the loft and throw it on the desk down here in the studio, but
See, this is why you need the Apple Notes application, the notepad.
yeah.
You can just make a note.
Philip says he picked up the P2S today.
Nice. It's my go-to laser for CO2 stuff. For mostly acrylic is what I cut with it.
Yep, same here.
And the 2 colored plastic signs, like lamecoid material, because I make a lot of signs for solar power guys. They put warning signs all over everything. I make tons of those. David says, I have the Bamboo A1.
David says here.
Oh, I suspect TPU is out of the question. Is it? Oh,
No, it isn't. You can use TPU on an A1. Just don't try to run it through the AMS or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't do that on any of them.
A1. No, you have to run it off directly off a spool into the extruder.
I've had lots of 3D printers that can print TPU, but I haven't had one that prints TPU like PLA until I got this Bamboo printer. Like, it's just so, like, there's no drama. Like, I hear people going, oh, I've had all these problems printing TPU. It's like I don't put it obviously in the AMS. The AMS actually detects that it can't print it. And so I have an external spool holder out behind the 3D printer, but I run it through the tube.
I'll tell you what you don't want to do is take an off-brand TPU and put it in an AMS just to see what will happen.
I don't want to put any TPU in an AMS because I have this same problem. It goes so far and then it just stops.
Yeah, and then you have a hell of a time getting it out.
And the little release lever on the AMS won't let it go.
No.
Yeah, important safety tip. This is an interesting question. Ted says, do you have a preference of CNC or laser? I'm thinking of purchasing one, but my wife says only one.
Well, you have 2 different animals there is the thing. It's not an apples to apples comparison, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah. I guess the question is, what do you think you want to make?
And how much space do you have?
Well, you don't have to get a big CNC. You can get like a Carvera Air, right? It's heavy, but it's fairly tiny. Same with a laser, right? Like you can get a small laser. You don't have to have a monster. But like again, I think it would depend very much on what you want to make. Because if you want to like there's a lot of overlap. But if you wanted to do like a 2.5D carving, some lasers can do that. Like a UV laser can do that. But it's going to take you 10 times as long as a CNC would do it. And you're not going to get as good a job. But if you want to make a box, if you want to cut anything with square inside corners, then a CNC is not the right thing because it's going to make round corners.
Yeah.
So it's a tough call without just.
I would say it's probably easier to make money with a CNC than a laser.
I definitely make more money with my CNC than all my lasers. Well, that's how I feel anyway. I mean, I have a few big contracts with laser work that kind of offset that, but just people saying, hey, I want this, 9 times out of 10, this requires a CNC as opposed to a laser. But if you just want a hobby, yeah, I don't know if it matters. There you go, Roger. Question.
So how much waste would you need to save to make the H2C viable? I don't do a whole lot of multicolor printing, but I do a lot of printing where I use support material. And when I have to swap back and forth, that is a big deal. So I have some projects I want to make that are multicolor, like 4-color, and still have support. So that's why I'm looking at the H2C. And I will have one here after I get back from my vacation.
What's the price of the H2C?
2,400 right now with the MS.
Not too bad. Like I thought it was going to be much more than that. Like it's not small potatoes, but it's cheaper than I thought it was going to be.
Of course, I'll be watching for Black Friday, see if they do anything with it.
Yeah, I don't think Bamboo does Black Friday.
Oh yeah, they've got a big thing. I've been getting emails.
On filament, do they sell lasers at a discount?
Well, they did last year. They did.
Oh yeah.
I picked up another X1 carbon on Black Friday last year.
Well, maybe I'll keep an eye open for an H2D that's 60% off. Then I'll buy another one of those.
There's actually a reason I asked about the plates. I'm probably pulling the trigger. Most likely the A1 combo. Wondering if I need to order extras. One that comes with it doesn't really give a description of what it is. It will come with a PEI plate.
Yeah, textured plate.
Yeah. If you want a smooth PEI plate, you have to order that separately. And if you want to get exotic, you can get PEI plates that have all kinds of different patterns on
them. Yeah. I have no desire for well, I guess if you could get one with like a carbon fiber pattern.
Oh yeah, they make one looks just like carbon fiber.
That would be interesting. But
hi, Bob.
Bob says hi.
So Ryder says still going back and forth between the A1 Centauri carbon. He started looking at the Kitty Q2. Heard some good stuff about it. I used to have a Kitty Core XY printer. My problem got to be with the tech support, and not that it wasn't. I didn't get replies right away. It's just like constant got a runaround about well, did you try this? Did you try this? Try doing this and take this apart and put it back together. And why don't you just send me a replacement part? I'll buy it. Well, we don't have it right now, and so
I ran into a bit of that. They actually did a couple of field upgrades, and they'd send me these new parts and say, replace this, and it's okay. Where is this in the printer? And then they'd send you a video on how to replace things. But I liked the Cheaty. I had a 3 something with a 3 in it anyway.
I had the Galaxy 3.
No, well, it was a Cheaty printer.
Kitty Galaxy 3 is the one I had.
Yeah, it wasn't a Galaxy. It was something else. But I liked it. I put a lot of hours on it, and I gave it to somebody who's putting a ton of hours on it. But what I've noticed since I got it to now, you can go to their store and you can buy most of the parts because the guy I gave it to has replaced a few things in it. And like he's replaced the hot end because they have a better one, and he's got high flow nozzle and stuff on it now. So, and I mean, it's only got like a 200 millimeter square workspace, right? But he gets a lot of use out of it.
That's one of the nice things I like with Bamboo with their parts availability. You go on Bamboo's site, and they're not overcharging for their parts, and you can find just pretty much any part you need.
Well, even like plates, right? Like the PEI plate is like $20, right? It's you can't buy it on Amazon for that price.
Yeah.
My printer told me today that I have 600 hours on it now. Just popped up a message and said, "You got 600 hours. Let's go. Let's do another job." It's like, okay, if you want to get personal. Small world. Oh yes, Tim points out Steve doesn't have a Carvera Air anymore. This is why Tim's coming to see me on the weekend. He's going to pick it up, which solves 2 problems. It gives him a tool he can use for his business, and it creates some floor space for me, which is always the big challenge. And it's going to a good home. So
Now, Chris is telling a writer, don't go back and forth, just buy both.
Yeah, just pay money. Money solves all these problems. Hey, Velp is here. What's your favorite laser at the moment? Huh.
Well, for me, I could say at the moment, because I have been cutting stuff like crazy here for Christmas, and it's the longer B1s. I've got two of them, and they're run. When I'm out in the shop, they're running nonstop.
Yeah, it's a good workhorse.
Yeah.
What about you, Skylar?
I still love my X-Tool P2S.
Yeah, see, I do. It's one I use in my shop all the time. I tend to be more of a here and now. So right now I'm kind of all over the.
But I don't do any engraving. Like my business requires zero engraving. Like other
Yeah.
than putting my mark on the things I make, I do zero engraving.
Well, that's kind of my thing for laser work too. It's mostly like I use the P2S mostly for cutting acrylic, right?
Yeah,
So
that's what I do. I cut templates to make other projects.
yeah, well, I don't do that, but a lot of sign work and stuff, and it works really well for that. But
Like,
right
I
now,
can't even.
right now, I'm kind of hung up on the F2 Ultra UV.
I can't even remember the last time I cut something other than acrylic on my Monport.
Yeah,
That's all I use it for.
Once in a while, I'll throw a piece of plywood in there and I'll cut it, but because I don't
cut some backers for my crosses. That is like a 1/4 inch, Baltic birch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a diode laser in my shop. Well, I do. I have the Ortur R2, but it's way too small for anything I do.
I still have the Acmer P3 I kept for myself. And I keep waiting. I ordered 6 extra lenses.
Yeah.
And
See,
I ordered those like 2 months ago, and they still have not shown up.
Wow. That's one of my favorite diode lasers.
That's why I kept it for myself. Even though it's only manual focus and stuff, it does a really good job, especially at cutting.
And it's solid, right? Like it just works.
And I have one of those too. It's on the shelf right now. I'm not using it, but yeah, it's a good workhorse.
I sent mine to a better place, but the guy who has it every week, he's posting new cool stuff on Instagram, and it's like he went from I don't know what a laser is to I'm doing all these cool things now, and that was in the span of I don't know, probably 3 months. So he's just certainly getting his use out of it. Radu says he's actually taking food out of his mouth to be able to talk himself into getting one. Yeah, that's never a good thing. You can't starve for lasers.
Yeah, Gordon Gregory is saying Shopsmith is going out of business.
Yes, it's Shopsmith. Yeah.
Yeah, Shark is made by Next Wave Manufacturing.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the Shark by Next Wave.
Yeah, I don't know, like you see some of these things and you look at them and go, what makes this so expensive? Because it's got this, it's not like Andy Bird has his Avid there. And I mean, you can see why it's more expensive because it's got bigger stepper motors. It's got a huge workspace. To
me, what I liked about it was just the fact that it's made in US.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that's one thing, right? But I could say that about the Onefinity. It's made in Canada, so
right.
But yeah, I look at things like the Shark, and I think like what makes it so expensive because it's got the same stepper motors. They're like NEMA 23 motors. A lot of their models don't even have closed loop stepper motors. They're just regular stepper motors. So it's just perception that makes it expensive. They charge enough, and people are willing to pay for it.
Well, Dave is asking, I wonder if Rick has spent time learning VCarve.
Oh, that's a good question. We should ask Rick that.
Yeah.
We give him a test.
Another one for you, Skylar.
I really like that cross. Thanks, Chuck. A lot of people seem to like it. I've seen it on every woodworking group on Facebook now. Everybody's making them.
Oh,
You didn't have like a patent pending or anything on it?
No. I was happy to share my pattern.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice piece of work.
I thought that would be like, everybody's going to make it and my sales is going to stop on it. But I still sold, I think, 6 in the last 10 days. So.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like it seems like there's a lot of makers, right? But there's a ton of people who want to buy handmade stuff. Yeah. Rather than something they can go to Walmart to get. And
also most people seem to just sell on Facebook Marketplace. So they're not even on the same pool that I'm trying to sell my thing.
Yeah. But it's just like the market is pretty big and still it's pretty untapped, right? Like there's just a lot of people who want that kind of face-to-face exposure and get something exactly the way they want it. So
there's enough room for all of us.
Yeah, and I don't worry about that either. It's like, I mean, Andrew's on the call. He lives 10 minutes from me, and he makes all kinds of stuff. And Tim is, he's probably an hour and a half away from me, and he makes a lot of signs and things, which is a lot of what I do. And I've never had somebody say, well, I didn't like Tim's quote, so I'm coming to you, because it's just like it's two completely different markets, even though we're all fairly close. Because you build up your clientele and they keep.
I did have a strange thing happen to me on Etsy just yesterday. I had this guy bought from Wyoming. He bought a large cross. It's like 36 inches large and $250. So he bought it. I shipped it and whatever. And then he sent me a message, and Derek Smiley Woodworks, the one that posted another message earlier today, he also makes them the same size. And he messaged me and said, like, I don't know which one started to make these things first, you or Derek, but it's a great job you guys are doing. I'm like, what are the odds that he's messaging me, assuming that I know Derek, or how?
Well, he can see if somebody's commenting on your channel, right? Hazmat the fisherman. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not.
Yeah.
He's encouraging you, Skylar, to go look at the alt mill from CNC Lab, which is also another Canadian company.
Are all the CNCs made in Canada?
Just the good ones.
Just the good ones.
There's a couple of industrial ones made here too. There's some lasers made here as well, but I doubt that you can get them anymore because it probably costs too much to get them across the border. I don't know how Onefinity and CNC Lab are getting stuff shipped in. Well, for that matter, anybody in China sending things into the U.S. right now, just because the tariffs are all bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I told you my X2 laser has been sitting in customs for 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I told Skylar that before we went live that Commarker sent me a Titan 1. I mean, this is like a $6,000 laser, and customs seized it here because they didn't do the paperwork right, and they didn't say on the custom sheet, they didn't say this was for review. So these guys interpreted that it was a business tool. I mean, it is a business tool, but at the time I wasn't planning on using it for business. And so they seized it, and Commarker ended up sending me another one. And the other one is probably headed to a government asset sale. So if you pay attention to government asset sales in Canada, keep an eye open for a Titan. It's brand new in the box. Kenton says, hello from East Louisiana. Surely he must know Rich.
Yeah, Rich is down there. Rich is down there close to New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like in the suburb there somewhere, right?
Harbor Freight. We call it Harbor Freight here. But
Harbor Freight is the one I was talking about. They are scroll saw. Really, really good reviews. A lot of people on my group has it, and they love that scroll saw for like $250 or something.
Or Hobo Freight.
Yeah, that's another one, or Hobo Freight. Says, I have it and I like it.
Oh, there you go. You must have just got a bad one.
Santa's laser driver, he has a Craftsman scroll saw, but that's got to be an old one.
Yeah, but it's probably better than the ones they make today.
Yeah, it'd be cast iron and it'd be built like a rock. So
See, mine is a Delta or Rockwell Delta. I think when Rockwell and Delta were still together. Um, like I've had it for I don't know 25 years, and I haven't turned it on for a very long time. But I'd like to get it out from under my workbench.
say, hey guys, loving the chat from Sacramento, California. Looking to get a Black Friday Amazon bandsaw. What should I look for and or avoid?
I would say Amazon bandsaws, but
Yeah, you know,
well, they have Wens, right? Which are okay.
probably not going to find a Rikon or anything on Amazon.
No,
I bought
probably
my
not.
Rikon on Amazon.
Oh, did
Oh,
you?
did you?
Oh,
Yeah, this little one.
yeah. I'm still looking for a bandsaw. I was gonna buy one this year, but I bought the saw stop instead, and
When you
I
get
only
it,
need
get the
I only need
Harvey.
so much tax deduction, so I'll
I
buy the
have the
bandsaw next
Harvey
year.
C14 over there. It's a great bandsaw.
Yeah, I'd get a 14-inch anyway.
Yeah, that's what I
Rikon
have.
is your
Fantastic.
Rikon a 10 or a 8? What is it? I'm actually bending over here trying to see around you, which is odd. But
Which one?
your Rikon
The little one?
is it 8 or a 10?
It's 10 inches.
10? Yeah.
But it's the second version. They have the first version was a little bit junkier. The second one, they put a bigger motor, I think, and improved the fence and improved a whole bunch of other stuff.
I almost bought a used one. Somebody was retiring or something, and I looked at it. It was a General. It was nice, but I just wasn't the right time.
Well,
Yeah,
my bandsaw is a Delta. It's about probably 45 years old, and that's back when they really made them. And it's not very big. It's a benchtop model, but it does what I need it to do and still works. It's just hard to get blades for because they're a weird size.
You can usually go to.
You can go to Laguna. They will cut them for you at whatever length you need.
I was gonna say, like here, I can go to. There's a place that sharpens bandsaw blades, and you can get them to cut a bandsaw blade to any length you want.
I usually keep my Harvey one just for resawing. It's always with a 3/4 inch blade ready for resaw. And this little guy is just for add pieces that I need to cut.
Yeah. Rick mentioned, Roger mentioned Delta. I had the misfortune of buying a Delta miter saw 35, 40 years ago, and it's still alive. I just can't kill it. And the only reason I'd like to get rid of it is because it just weighs a ton. Like it's anytime I have to take it somewhere to do a job, it just like I throw it. I actually put it in the bucket of my tractor and move it because it's too heavy.
So you definitely wouldn't want to grab a hold of my DeWalt.
No.
Because I got the big one, the 12-inch multi.
That's what I have too. The 12 inches, the one that does the bevel and sliding.
Yeah. I like if I was buying a miter saw today, I'd probably buy the Festool one because it's got some really nice mitering jigs built into it.
Right. And when you have a smaller blade too, it's a lot more accurate because when you have the 12-inch blade, it deflects.
Yeah, I got a 10 and it does what I need it to do, but I just wish it would die so I have an excuse to buy something new. But that thing's going to outlive me, I'm sure.
That's what I keep thinking. I'm going.
I also have a very old Ryobi that the brake doesn't work on anymore, but I can grab it with one hand and carry it around. It's 10-inch. Doesn't do any bevels or anything, but just straight cuts. It's great.
Yeah.
I wanted to build a bench for my miter saw over there. I just keep putting it off. I'm like, maybe I'll get the Festool and then build a bench.
Yeah, see, I built a bench for mine. And it's nice because like both sides are higher than the saw, so you can just slide wood in and
well, I built a flip top bench for mine, and then the planer is gonna, when I finish it, the planer is gonna go on the other side.
Oh,
and this thing, is super heavy duty. It's got a 1-inch axle through it with 4 pivot blocks because of the weight that's going to be on that thing. And I got industrial casters on it so I can roll it around.
I've seen a lot of people use like 1-inch EMT or 1.25 EMT, like steel pipe. You know what EMT is, but like electrical conduit, that
Yeah.
stuff. And what's nice about that is it's hollow in the center, so you can run the cord through the end, and you don't ever have to worry about twisting it. And they cut a hole in the center and run the cord out through the center of the pipe.
Yeah, I've been making videos as I've been building this thing. The whole process is probably a year into it now. Still not done. But I'm going to have wings I'm going to put on the side, and they're going to be adjustable in height. For one for the miter saw and the other one for the planer. And
Yeah, I'd like to build one of those for my planer, and I have a sanding, like a shaper sander that somebody gave me. It would be nice to. It's been sitting on the floor for 2 years. It would be nice to put it in kind of on the other side of that. But either that or my joiner.
Yeah, I need to buy a jointer.
Yeah, I just have the standard 10-inch one that you could get. You'll get it as something at Harbor Freight. Mine's a Craftex, which is probably going to be the same thing that you'd buy.
Yeah, I have a 8-inch Wahuda or something. I don't know. I bought it from Amazon, but it's been working great. But it's a bench top one, so it's pretty small. I want to get a full size one.
Sorry.
I've got a Grizzly joiner, a 6-inch, and then I've got a little 4-inch Craftsman that's a bench top that I use when I'm making frames for the beehives.
Sorry, I had to find out where we were. So Chris says, yeah, I was thinking of getting a little late to me. It's getting a little late to be making videos on Christmas decorations. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I'll do something else. But Phil says, I hope someday to get my YouTube channel to the point where I get offers for testing.
That's good and bad. That's good and bad.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you guys probably hear it too, and I see Clack is on, but people will always make these comments about, oh, you get free stuff. There is nothing free about what you test on YouTube. It takes like this, like when I do a review, it's off and on for a week probably, and it's time. That in itself isn't a big deal, but it's time that I'm not making money doing some other project, right? So it ends up costing me more than if I just went and bought the machine. But I do it for the right reason, I think, which is to help people. So
Then you'll start getting offers to test stuff that has nothing to do with your channel.
Yeah. So the thing I was going to say here, though, is I don't know how many members you have on your YouTube channel, or subscribers or views, but it doesn't take that many before somebody will kind of poke at you and say, hey, would you like to test this?
I had my first laser reviewers from longer when I had barely just 1,000 subscribers. I just got monetized.
Yeah, I don't even think I had 1,000. The very first one I did was the Afero 5-watt. And I don't think I was monetized at that point. Like I probably had maybe 500 subscribers. So it happens. And the thing is, once the tap is open, you can't turn it off. And they are very persistent people when they want you to test something. Santa says, I thought about getting a 3D printer, but since the F2 is out, I may be changing for now. Thoughts on learning curve from Lightburn to Xtool?
It's not bad.
It's pretty close to zero. The concepts in Lightburn and Xtool Studio are the same, but in some ways, in a lot of ways, Xtool Studio is easier to use. And there's a whole bunch of tools in Xtool Studio that Lightburn doesn't have. Like, there's a lot of AI stuff that's built in there. So if you're doing UV, and I'll have this in in my F2 Ultra UV, where you're engraving an image in a cube or something in glass, and you don't just want to engrave a flat image. You can use the image to 2.5D tool in Xtool, and it'll create a, if it's a person, it'll create an actual simulated 3D person, and it's kind of cool. So you get a lot of tools like that as well. QR codes. Lightburn has a QR code tool as well, but that's there. It's like one click away, and you're making QR tools.
I do my QR codes in Adobe.
RE3. The RA3 typo there, Flack. I'll read the one that he's fixed. The RA3 is pretty slick. Yeah, it's kind of nice for a rotary. They were getting hammered by things like the Robo rotary, whatever, Rotobus, and they had to kind of keep up. So they came out with something that's actually pretty nice.
Hey guys, I actually have to go. I have to go to another Zoom meeting. But thank you so much for having me tonight.
Yeah, thanks
for glad to have you.
Guys. And
now half of the people who are listening will leave because they
won't.
from your invite tonight.
No, you still have their question. You have to answer.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Take care, Skylar.
Well, good night.
Have fun. Thanks.
Right. So, Frank Workshop, question for you guys. What are your favorite UK-based YouTube channels? Mine would be Beard Meets Food. He's
ironically, I watch because I do a lot of home automation stuff. There's a guy in the UK who does a lot of home assistant stuff. I forget his name now. I watch his channel a lot. But Hands on Katie, if you watch her stuff, she's got to be some kind of engineer, because she just does cool things, hacks of all sorts. And she's pretty funny, actually, but she's definitely got it together. Like she's obviously got an engineering background or something. But I think she's actually in Scotland, though. Chuck says, this has been fun. Oh, he's got to go. Okay, take care, Chuck. Jim says, every time I get an order to engrave glasses, my blood pressure goes sky high. Nothing but problems. Yeah, it's one of those things. You just charge accordingly, right? And it's, at some point your yield will go up, and then you're making more money. So, but it's tedious. Glass, especially thin glass like martini glasses or wine glasses, they're just hard to work with.
What's really frustrating is you get one all engraved and you set it off to the side, you start on the next one, and then when you just did, all of a sudden decides to shatter.
Well, that's, I think, some of the problem Jim's talking about.
Yeah.
I've actually seen this now that we're doing 3D engraving in glass. I've seen this happen in glass cubes too, where you engrave it and it looks fine, and you look back at it like 20 minutes later and you see a crack creeping already, and by the next day it's halfway across the cube. And I've never had one break in half yet, but I've had some that cracked like that.
Blinky says it's 100% YouTube on mobile.
There you go.
I will watch YouTube on my phone once in a while, if I'm like in a waiting room or something.
Yeah, I do this when I'm going somewhere with my wife, and she says, "Oh, I just want to stop in here for a minute." So I'll watch YouTube on my phone.
Yeah.
Because wherever she's stopping is usually somewhere I don't want to be. So
it's hello from Dennis at West Virginia. Have you used Glancy's #1 oil finish? I'm not familiar with that one.
No.
I'm a Watco guy here.
Well, if it's finished for like cutting boards and stuff, I usually make my own. But or walrus oil. I'll use walrus oil for some things. Tim's like, crap, he's keeping both. Yeah. Well, so I was talking to Tim the other day and over Facebook, and I said, he was talking about this Carvera Air, and then I said, I'm in the middle of testing the F2 Ultra UV, and I really like it. I'm not trying to sell it to you. He does ping me from time to time to say, hey, what's new? But
Ordinary woodworker is saying he was skeptical with Monport lasers due to their low prices, but took the chance and bought the 80-watt 24x36. Quite the workhorse, ended up being a good purchase.
yeah.
Yep.
It's, I mean, there's a lot of parts, so assembling them takes a lot of labor, which if it's not built in China costs a lot of money. So it's just how it is. Santa says he's got the Monport 60 and the GI 30 MOPA, and it's in a very clean workshop, so it never gets sawdust on it. He hasn't posted any pictures of his workshop lately. I'm still waiting to see like wood chips on the floor or something. But Tim says, Velf, is that you narrating your videos? Because your narration is very, very excellent. Yeah, he does a lot of faceless kinds of videos. I've watched quite a few of Velf's videos. We were going to get him on here one night, but we'd have to have just a blurred out image because no one knows who he is. He's
a silhouette or blackout.
Yeah. Well, we put a light behind him, so he's just black, right? Just a silhouette.
Jim says, always user error.
Yeah, that's part of the fun, though, Jim. You just have to keep saying that.
Yeah. The Plinky says, setting up my first laser at Omtech CO2 MF1624.
Yeah, it's a nice laser to get started. Favorite cross is the 4X on a local beer can. 4X is on a local beer can. I'm sure Skylar could make that for you. She can do a lot of cool things.
Oh, the trucker.
Bosnian trucker.
Hello from Waterloo, Iowa, currently in Nashville, Tennessee.
Listening to Grand Old Opry. Yeah, Radish says a funeral urn is dead simple. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Dad joke.
Yeah, that was his dad joke for the week.
Santa says he made his dad's urn out of mahogany with the Marine Corps emblem inlaid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Not nice that you had to make it, but nice that it is.
Yeah,
made.
and this is true here. All wood needs to be heat treated or fumigated for import rules.
Yeah.
So we don't get any more critters coming in from other countries we don't need. As a nursery owner, I know all about them critters.
It's a we have to kill off all those Australian spiders.
Yeah.
There's some nice hardwoods actually in Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania that we just never see.
Well, this is for Skylar. Of course, she's not on here now, so you might want to look at the alt mill CNC as a future CNC machine. The CNC works quite well and uses extruded aluminum frame.
Yeah. Yeah, the alt mill's a solid machine. They're one of the few companies that's still kind of doing innovative work. Although now that Onefinity went to the new controller, and they have this. Have you seen that slide table one that they're working on? It's like a bed slinger CNC. I haven't heard too much about it since they showed it off at one of the trade shows earlier in the year, but I looked at it the first time and went, why? Because it's basically a 4x4 footprint, but you can cut a 4x8 sheet in it. But I don't know. It just looked like it's overly complex.
Yeah, saying he made his son's urn.
That's not good.
Hello from Georgia, in the U.S., from Bobby Sharp. Okay, Chris is saying with all the different laser software, they don't really hide the original source. They all look basically the same. Same with 3D slicer software. On the 3D slicer end, almost everything anymore looks like Orca.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Orca Slicer just kind of came on the scene and took over, right? It's just, it works. I was trying to convince actually the fiber seeker guys, the carbon fiber printer guys, to build new slicer software based on Orca Slicer, but they want to build their own, which it's like it works, and it actually works okay, but it's like everyone understands Orca Slicer now, so why would you try and change people?
Yeah, Bobby Sharp saying a coworker showed me several pictures of urns the other day. Had never thought about creating something like that. There is a market for it.
Yeah, everybody's going to need one at some point.
Or a casket, and I'm not. My shop ain't big enough for that.
No.
Bobby says he wanted a laser or CNC for a while and finally bought a scroll saw. It's me, not a machine.
Yeah. Just a guy with a coping saw.
Kenneth says, I like a scroll saw. There's no two pieces the same. That's what makes it mine.
Yeah, that's true. But when you want two pieces to be the same, it's impossible to do. Well, at least for me anyway.
Or if we need a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people who can work magic with a scroll saw, but it's not me. Like, I can't do anything with a scroll saw.
I mean, like I could do this here on a scroll saw. It'd probably take me a couple hours, but I could do it in about. Yeah, I could do this in about 10 minutes on a laser.
That's the thing, right? It's just a better tool for doing that specific thing.
Yeah.
Chris says, I see a lot of people saying lasers are growing due to all the different brands now without realizing that they all come from the same few companies. Yeah, I mean, Atom Stack makes a whole bunch of off-brand things. Or Tour used to make quite a few different things.
Yeah, there are Ferro line that was,
but the really cheap ones, like the $50 to $200 lasers, they're all disappearing now, right? There's just no market for them anymore.
Yeah, and you can cut 3D stuff. Yeah, on a scroll saw, yes, you can.
Yeah, I see people doing the thing where they tape an image on two sides and they keep turning it over on a like a bandsaw or a scroll saw.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool, but I have a 4th axis on my CNC, so I can actually make something that's recognizable on that compared to what I could do with a scroll saw. What's this saying? Hi to Skylar. He and his brother have been building wooden crosses. Yeah, I mean, do it if there's a market. Like, go to it, right? Because you got to make money. Johnny, see you on the road. Oh, okay. Hi guys, I want to show you how to modify files that are. Can you show me how to modify files that are bought, and how to do letter cutouts for lanterns and stuff? So most files you're going to pull off of places like Etsy will either be DXF files or SVG files, and you can edit both of those quite easily. Inkscape can edit both of them, but they're pretty much any vector editing tool can import those and deal with them.
Just remember when you're doing letter cutouts to use a stencil font. You'll end up with some really weird looking O's and things like that.
You want all the letters to be stuck together.
Yeah.
You don't want the hole in the A or the O to disappear.
Wood Journey says it's a Monport Reno 65 but having focusing problems.
Did you check the lens? Maybe it's got a either dirt on it
Crack.
or maybe you've got I saw somebody who had a long lens, like a 5-inch lens in a 2.5-inch tube, and you're never getting it focused in that case. So make sure the lens and the tube are matched. Also, like, look at the lens, like pull it out and look at it and make sure it doesn't have like I replaced mine not that long ago, my big laser, because it had a crack in it. Like, it basically cooked it for some reason.
Kenneth was telling Bobby Sharp you could use a straight cutting bed and a drill press to do inlay. Well, yeah, I suppose you could. I would rather use my CNC for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, a drill press is really a CNC with you as the X and Y axis, right?
Yeah.
Well, and in the vertical axis too, I guess. But look at that. What do we got? We got 9 minutes left. Let's see how many messages we have here. We got cut off last week. Rick came on and didn't really pay attention to what we were doing, and he hung us up.
Yeah.
In
Well,
the middle
Captain
of
Ken saying, hi, everyone. A beginner X tool are running a sale for the F1 Lite 4,000 millimeter for $5.99. You guys think that's a good deal? I need a strong computer to run this. I'll answer the last question. No.
No.
You don't.
Yeah.
No. You're just sending G code. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, the F1 Lite, I mean, it's an F1, but it's really small, and I don't know if anybody's on who's got an F1 Lite, chime in. But I mean, for $600, I don't know. I mean, if I was going to spend $600, I'd put that $600 towards something like an F2 now, because I think the F1 Lite is going to get discontinued, which is probably why it's on sale. Because Xtool is a bit like Apple; they don't generally put things on sale.
Okay, Darren's asking, what's a good starter CO2 laser for cutting acrylic? I have a low power diode. Well, diode lasers don't cut acrylic too well at all, unless it's black.
Black.
Even then, it doesn't do all that great. I use a Monport K40. It's an entry level CO2.
Yep.
Of course, I've modified some things on it, but it's just a workhorse. I can run it all day long.
The short answer here is any CO2 laser will cut acrylic.
Yeah.
And do a decent job at it. Like, don't go and buy, well, I don't even think you could buy a 5-watt CO2 laser, but start with like 40 or 50, 40, 45. Kind of the sweet spot would be 60 to 80 watts if you're looking for something that's a little more industrial. And Jim gives us life advice. Get a new wife. I did that. It cost me too much money to get a new one. Had to pay to get rid of the old one first. I just got back to him. Yes, that was my. Well, I don't know what they were talking about, but
getting a new wife.
Well, no, I don't think so. But you guys have any small lasers, easy to use, that you would like to sell me? Well, if you're in Canada, sure. But if you're in the US, no, it's too much paperwork for me to send you one.
I don't have anything that I'm wanting to get rid of right now, laser wise.
Yeah, I mean, these days you can get some pretty good deals, especially like now, because you're getting all kinds of Black Friday deals. Look at a Longer Ray 5. Like, go to Longer's website and look at a Ray 5. It's a great little laser to start. It's got no bells and whistles, but it works, and it works pretty much all the time. And if you, but keep in that sort of range. I think you can still buy an Ortour Laser Master 3. Like these lasers are older, so they're getting fairly cheap. And because it's Black Friday, they're coming on sale.
Yeah, and Ortour's Laser Master 3, it's a workhorse too. Of course, my Ray 5 is also a workhorse, and I've got it. Put both extension kits on it to go 800 by 800 millimeter work area, so I can do big stuff on that one.
It's got to be slow.
Well, it takes a while. It's also a pain in the ass to store because it's on a 4-foot square sheet of plywood.
Well, I no longer have a D1 Pro with the extension rails because Andrew, who's on tonight, he came and picked it up. It replaced his D1, I think, or he might still have his D1. I'm not sure. Chris says, I love support people asking for pictures of missing parts and items. Yeah, well, they do this all the time, right? Can you send me a video of the thing not working? Yep,
yeah, I get that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Here it is. It's just sitting on my workbench doing absolutely nothing. Doesn't really need to be a video. It can just be a picture. Just a single image.
So the thing I like about the Kitty Q2 is our AMS system can dry while printing, and it's set so you can use abrasives. But that would probably be wood filament or carbon fiber. It's pretty abrasive.
Yeah. You can dry in a bamboo AMS. You can dry while it's printing.
Yeah, the sewage dryer in my Anycubic Ace, they call it on that one, not the AMS. It's got a built-in dryer. In fact, it's on right now.
You just need to have a power supply. You can get a 24-volt power adapter and plug your AMS in, and then you can run the dryer while it's printing.
Yeah, Chris says my favorite laser is whichever one I'm using at the moment.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Whichever one is going to solve the problem I have.
Jeep 44 XHI says a cross is fun to make. The backing for it takes more time to make. And I wish I could get rid of this damn fly down here. This is not the season to have a fly.
He's going to be there for the winter.
Ugh. Yeah, the market is so big you can find your niche if you put in some effort. That's true.
Yep. I mean, there's always business out there. ABM says, yeah, when I saw the video on the cross, I thought that's just too much work. Not that I'm lazy, but I
look at that things from a business perspective. Well,
yeah. Well, yeah, but you can make money on those.
You can charge accordingly.
Yeah. Now, I mean, Skylar takes pride in her work because she makes these things generally by hand. I mean, I would say I take pride in my work because I use a CNC, but I would use a CNC to make those crosses. The ones that are like weaved that she was showing there.
Yeah, but I enjoy learning. I enjoy your videos.
You must be talking about you, Roger.
No.
Thanks, Chris. I knew I was missing something. I'll give that a try. Radu changed Chris's life. Oh no, Chris changed Radu's life.
Golf Creations saying we shared our glass ornament engraving and paint fill technique. And seeing others make their own brings us more joy than any sales we could have made by keeping it a secret. Sharing is caring. And I have done that, especially in the what's more a craft-oriented thing with sublimation, dye sublimation. I show everything how to do it step by step, how to market it, how to sell it, and had great feedback on it. And yeah, I do sell that stuff, but I mean, I'm not worried about competition.
Yeah, I mean, while you and I are kind of headed in the same direction age-wise, if somebody wants to do what I do, more power to them, because I'd like to sit in my chair and drink a beer too.
Yeah.
I always tell people I work until it feels like a job, and then I go sit down or go for a walk on the beach. But I don't really want a job. It just kind of happened. This is something Clack's going to find out too when he's retired. He's going to work harder than he ever did when he had a job.
Well, Robert's saying, hi, I got my A1 and A1 Mini last week. I'm shopping for filament during Black Friday. Any recommendations? My recommendation is stick with Bamboo's filament, especially the refills.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been using a lot of, like, if I'm just doing, like, I've been doing a lot of multi-board stuff and Gridfinity stuff. For that, I just use like some Sunlu filament or something. It works great. But anything I want to do that I want to look nice on a 3D printer, I'll use Bamboo's filament.
And if you're doing prototypes, you know, now you mentioned Sunlu. I buy the Sunlu's recycled filament. Just black. That's the only one color I get when I'm doing prototypes.
Yeah.
And I'll use that for prototypes because it's super cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. It's roughly half the cost of Bamboo's filament. And I'm convinced it's made in the same factory as Bamboo's filament.
Yeah, could be.
Like it looks and feels exactly the same. I use mostly, like if I'm printing PLA, I use mostly matte filament rather than the regular stuff. I just don't like the shine. There's Clack. He has a 10-inch Rikon with a 3rd horsepower motor. I have the older green one. Yeah. Wow, it's been a while actually since they've had green. So we got, oh geez, we're over time here. Let me just see if
there's... saying you got the old 3-wheel bandsaw. Oh, wow. I remember that from woodshop back in junior high.
Yeah, it's just one more wheel to try and calibrate.
Yeah.
Let me just take a look here and see if there's any urgent questions. And if you have a question that we haven't read here, bring it back next week. Be first in the queue. Oh, there's an answer. That Clack has the F1 light as an F1 without the IR. Yeah, I guess it is the same size as the F2. But why would you just want a diode galvo laser?
Okay, if you want to jump down, there's a question here about the best CNC 1/8-inch bit for cutting and milling acrylic. Did I just do that, or did you do that?
I did that.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't normally have that power.
Well, you probably do. You just haven't expressed the interest in taking power. Best CNC 1/8-inch bit. I mean, these kinds of questions come up quite often, and I always lean towards Jenny bits myself. If you're just starting out, go buy the cheapest ones you can on Amazon because you're going to break them, especially 1/8-inch bits.
Yeah, you don't go out and start buying Amana bits right off the get go.
Yeah. Everything in I do have some cheap Amazon bits when I'm just like hogging something out. I don't use a good bit, but it's most of the things in my shop are Jenny bits, especially for end mills and Amana bits. But they all they're super expensive. So I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
Clack uses his flute bits. Felflex matte filament too. Yeah, it's my favorite. All right, let's shut her down here. So
okay, so I'll see everybody next week, and I'll be broadcasting from Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
Halfway through a beer or two.
Or more.
Well, you have a safe trip. Thanks to Skylar for joining us, and hopefully Rick survives his anniversary, and we'll hopefully see you all next week.
Yep, see you next week.
Take care, all.